Independent game developers are always producing inventive and exciting projects. Kitty Horror Show is doing amazing work in the horror sphere. Supergiant Games consistently makes great roguelikes, and House has done wonders with geese? The fighting game corner of indie dev is booming as well. While the titans of the genre will always loom large, we've seen some fantastic takes on fighting games from small to mid-sized teams in recent years. Now, a new crop of indie developers are working on their own renditions, slated for 2021 and beyond, each with their own design preferences and curiosities. I'm Mr. MKL, and here are 3 indie fighting games you should be keeping an eye on. Blazing Strike is a 2D sprite-based fighter from solo dev Rare Breed. They've taken inspiration from old-school Capcom and SNK titles, as well as flash animations like Stickman Fight to create a hard-hitting yet fluid fighter. Blazing Strike promises an intuitive and easy-to-use offensive system called Rush Mode, and unique defensive systems called Block, Guard, and Parry to complement it. How exactly these systems will function remains a bit of a mystery. Hopefully Rare Breed will have more information soon, because this game looks amazing. Metal Revolution has been in development for a few years now. Originally slated to release at the end of 2020, this approachable fighter has now slipped into 2021. Planned for release on consoles, PC, and mobile, with developers Next Studio having confirmed GGPO netcode and implied that there will be crossplay. Metal Revolution aims to ease newcomers into fighting games, simplifying controls by replacing motion inputs with single-button special attacks. The game uses a 5-button layout offering light, special, and super attacks, along with a dedicated jump and dash button. Lights will auto-combo, and special attacks are performed with a single direction input plus the special button. Next Studios has a similar design philosophy to Serlin Games in some ways. As with Fantasy Strike, Metal Revolution doesn't have any crouching, so there aren't any high-low mix-ups. According to developers, they want to emphasize short combos, interesting oki, and a quick right-left mix-up game. They also highlight a parry system, which they say you can use whenever. When you're blocking, when you're in the air, just whenever. I'm intrigued to see how this robo-themed fighter handles these and other system mechanics like throws and juggles. Hopefully we get to see a bit more later on this year. So it's come to my attention after making this entire video that Next Studios is not technically an indie studio since it's a studio owned by Tencent. Now, I'm gonna leave Metal Revolution in here just because A, I think it's an interesting game, but B, it's also an interesting look into Chinese game development. They consider it an original title, as opposed to indie title, which makes sense given the backing. But it's supposed to represent titles that wouldn't typically get made, and it's supposed to be a good representation of the Chinese games industry. So I'm gonna leave it in here just as a curiosity at the very least, even if it's not technically indie. Finally, we have 5 Force Fighters, a stylish looking air dasher from Kaizen Creed. Holy heck, just give it to me now. It looks to be a systems-rich, fast-paced fighter from the footage that's in the wild. 5 Force has multiple universal defensive and offensive mechanics, and the game adds an interesting twist to the genre. Only certain move types will actually KO your opponents. So weak attacks and grabs, for example, can't win you the round. I've always liked the idea of unique win conditions in fighting games, so I'm glad to see this kind of design pop up. The core combo system, called Full Force Links, aims to be fast-paced and flexible. It's basically a wheel of options that dictates which of the 4 move types, weaks, chargeables, force moves, and grabs, can combo into and out of each other. So, for example, grabs and weak attacks can combo into almost anything, but chargeables can only combo into force moves. So you end up taking this trip around the wheel of options while creating a combo until you use up all your resources like meter or ground and wall bounces. This kind of open-ended system is really exciting. It offers so much versatility, a chance for problem solving when optimizing combos, and it allows for a ton of player expression, both in terms of style and complexity. A quote from the 5 Force Fighters Discord sums it up best. "If you think the hit will land, it probably will." That's a sentiment I can get behind. I can only hope an alpha test happens sometime soon, because I cannot wait to get my paws on this game. So there you have it, folks. 3 indie fighters that you should definitely be keeping an eye on. Every one of these games has something great on offer, from modern, approachable fighters to wild, mechanically dense air dashers. I, for one, can't wait to try them all out. Check out the description for links to all these games so you can stay in the loop. And let me know what fighting games you are most excited to play down in the comments. Stay safe, everyone. I'll see you in the bracket.